Hi everyone, it looks like we are ready finally to put our colored pencil collage together. So today I have all of my photos and my sketches, which I'll show you how to do in just a second. I've got my photos from my identity doc from Monday. And I printed them out because I wanted to be able to show you. You guys can just look at them on your screen while you're doing some sketches. So I've got my identity doc pictures. I'm going to set mine to the side. You will have yours on your screen. And we are going to make thumbnail sketches of each one of the photos that you put into your identity doc. So how do we make these thumbnail sketches? Here's mine all the way done, and I will show you how to get to that point. So I've got a blank page in my sketchbook, and I'm just going to make some wavy lines and split this page up into 9 squares. I made the wavy lines because they don't have to be exactly perfect. We're going to end up cutting these out. So now that I've got my wavy lines on there, 9 boxes, I'm going to go with each picture and I'm going to make a little thumbnail sketch. So my first picture is of a swan, and I will just make a quick sketch of the swan. Doesn't have to be a quick, or it doesn't have to be a long sketch, doesn't have to be a detailed sketch, just a quick little sketch. I wanted to see the little babies in here. Okay, so I've got my swan on water. And that's just my quick little sketch. I'm going to go through each box and I'm going to draw each one of my photos from my identity doc. So I have 9 photos on my doc and I have 9 squares. So I'm going to do one little thumbnail sketch in each square. I'm going to end up with, we can see them better if I turn it sideways here. And some of my pictures were more horizontal, so I drew them more horizontal, and some of them were more vertical, so I drew them vertically. That doesn't matter because, again, we are going to cut these out. So I've got all 9 of my photos thumbnail sketched out. And we're going to play with composition today. So I'm going to cut each one. So that I have 9 little sketches. And then I'll go to the next blank page in my book. And I'm going to start putting these out on my page. Laying these out, maybe how I want to draw them. And now that they're cut out, I can move them around. I can move them around to make some different designs here. Okay. So what we have to keep in mind here is this is kind of like making a puzzle, but you don't know what the final picture looks like. You're creating the final picture as you're moving your pieces around. Another thing you need to keep in mind with this project is scale. So I have a really large apple and I have a kind of a small house. When I draw them on my final picture, I may want to draw the house bigger and the apple smaller. So think about what size you want to make each piece. They don't have to stay the size that you drew them in the thumbnail sketch. You're just putting them out here so that you can come up with a nice design. Think. Okay. So it's hard for me to fit every single thing on here. on your screen, but you can get an idea where I'm just laying things out and I'm playing with how I want them to be in my final drawing. Once I like the composition that I've come up with, then I can tape them into place. You can use a glue stick if you want, or if you want to just set it over to the side carefully, that's fine too. So I'm going to tape my pieces together. And it's probably going to take you a little bit longer to come up with your composition. And I don't know that I'm going to stay with this exact composition with my final project, but this is what I have as a starting point. So I've got them laid out how I want to do them on my paper. Now I'm going to use this composition plus these photos, and I'm going to draw them on my final project page. So while you work on yours, you're going to have these photos as reference, your photos pulled up onto your Chromebook. So go ahead and have those ready. You're going to take your composition page that you did. You cut out your pieces and laid them together. You're going to have that sitting next to you. And then you're going to start drawing. So for example, with scale, this part here, I have a flower vine and I have the house. I think I want this flower vine to go all the way up the paper, so I'm going to enlarge the scale of this flower vine. I'm still drawing the same flower vine, but I'm making it larger on my page. So I'm going to start my sketch of a flower vine here. And then I'll start drawing my house. And I kind of wanted my house bigger on my page, so I'm going to do that pretty large. And then I'm going to do some really light sketches so that I can play with the design and erase things really easily and move things if I need to. So I've got my really light house sketch, just the outline of it down first. Okay, and I've got my really light sketch of a flower vine coming in on the side. Okay, so when I'm looking at my composition, above the house I have a lady with headphones and a family silhouette. Above that I have a jar of muchness, which is from it's from Alice in Wonderland, if you guys get that reference. Some paint brushes, an apple, and a swan with baby ducklings. Do they call them ducklings? I'm not sure. Somebody can correct me on that, I'm sure. All right, so I'm going to come in and maybe draw my lady with headphones. I think I'm going to have her here. Again, I'm not drawing it all in. I'm just putting in a really basic sketch so that I can make sure that I have the right scale for everything. She had headphones. Okay, so there's her face. Very light sketch. This is the rough sketch, just the beginning. I'm probably going to have my family here. Okay, there's my family. Got my vine, my house, girl with headphones, family. I'm going to put these paint brushes up the side. There's at least one. I had 4 in my picture. I don't know that I'm going to add all 4. If you have just an element of your picture that you want to do, you don't have to do the entire picture. So you guys saved all these photos in your identity doc. If you wanted to do, like I have my picture of my house, but there's all these trees behind it, I don't have to draw all the trees behind it. I just want to do the house. So you can pick and choose what you want to do. So and for another example, if you want to do the swan, you don't have to do the water if you don't want to. It's however that it's going to work in your drawing. So it's kind of a little bit challenging because we're still coming up with our own composition here. We're using our photos, the photos that we saved online on our identity doc. We're using those as a photo reference. We drew little thumbnail sketches. We cut them out and we arranged them in a composition. And now we're going to take the composition plus the photo reference and we're going to draw them all together in one finished artwork. I think I'm going to have my goose maybe right here. Like it looks like it's swimming in her hair, maybe. And then I've got my jar. My jar of muchness. With a tag, it had a tag on it. And again, these are quick sketches so I can make sure that I have everything in the right spot. Okay. And then I had an apple. I have an apple and a bonfire left. I had the bonfire down here. Bonfire. I think I'll keep going with my paint brushes. Behind the bottle. And then an apple. Okay, so I am getting my pieces, all of my pictures, basically sketched out. This is an extremely rough sketch because I want to look at my picture and I want to see everything together as a unified whole. I'm looking at unity and composition here. Can I picture how this is going to look with everything drawn out and colored pencil? So do I like where everything's placed? So once you do your light sketch, then you're going to look at it and make sure that you like where everything is placed. Once you like how you've laid everything out, you're going to start drawing things in detail. So what I mean by drawing things in detail, I'm going to zoom in on this apple. You can tell this is a quick sketch. I'm going to start drawing it more realistically based on the photo that I have, the photo reference that I have on my Chromebook. Okay, so now that I've got my refined lines, I'm going to erase my sketchy lines. And I'm going to make this apple more realistic. It had it had a leaf on it. Okay, now it's ready for colored pencil. So I'm going to go through every item that I drew on my page. Here's my flower vine. I'm going to start making some flowers according to the pictures that I saved for reference. And once I get everything the way that I want it, I can erase my sketchy lines and be ready for my colored pencil. Okay. So I want to get the basic drawing in pencil first, and then I can come back in with my colored pencil and add the color to my whole drawing. I will finish up my drawing today with my in-person classes, and I will post an example of the more in progress, the finished pencil drawing, and then I will take a picture of it with the colored pencil and I'll add that. So mostly today, I want you to work on drawing all your little images in the 9 thumbnail sketches, cutting them out, coming up with a really good composition, and then starting to sketch it out. Okay, we will add color either later today if you have time or tomorrow. All right, so make sure you have your drawing. Everything's going to be due by the end of the day tomorrow. Make sure you have your drawing going and have a really good start so that you can add some color tomorrow. If you guys have any questions, you may email me. If you're B group, make sure you come to the meet and get a full explanation, and then you can have the video as a reference. Make sure that you rewind the video, pause it if necessary, watch it again. Some of these concepts are a little bit difficult today, I understand. So make sure you use the video as a good reference. I hope everybody has a good time drawing, and I'll see you soon.